Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. My name is Tori Solis, and today I'm going to be doing a series review of the work that I did at the Richland College of the Dallas College for the fall 2022 semester. So the main thing that I worked on this entire semester was all of Darwin's finches, and there's an entire video on the finches dedicated to it. It's linked up there somewhere, but I'll go over them real quickly. So starting down here, this is the green warbler finch. So these are all cold finished with acrylic. So I fired them to 04 after sculpting them stoneware, and then cold finished them with acrylic and sealed them with Mod Podge. This is the small brown finch. All of the scientific names are in the other one, and I'll probably have them texted here when I do the editing here. Let's see, this is the large tree finch. There's so many, there's 14 of these. This is the medium brown finch. And all of these are males in their breeding colors because there is a little bit of plumage differences between the males and the females. And all of these are also made to scale. And I counted for shrinkage too, so they are mostly pretty much to scale. This is the gray warbler finch. This is the large brown finch. A lot of these are very dapper little black birds. This is the small tree finch. This is the large cactus finch. This is the common cactus finch. I did experiment with a lot of different postures for these. I didn't want them all to have the same posture. This is the sharp-beak ground finch. Thought it had a long name. Okay, this is the medium tree finch. The mangrove finch. This one's in danger. This is the woodpecker finch. And this one here's the last one is the vegetarian finch, and this one is the largest of them. And these are all hollowed out. So they're not as heavy maybe as they might look, and they're just exactly what you expect. So I did a lot of pottery. I had a few different missions with this class. I have all my glaze notes here. For starters, I made a sake set. So it's a type of set to serve Japanese rice wine. We used the obsidian glaze for this one, and then I put the fire brick over obsidian for this whole set. And this is a gift for my husband for Christmas. He really wanted one, so I made him one in his favorite colors. Then I have a friend in class who has a ton of commercial glazes, and I love to experiment with those, so she shared them with me. So I have a lot of different commercial glaze combinations here. I got my glaze notes. Let me just dig up everything. Okay, so for this one, the outside is Mako Shipwreck from the outside, and the inside is just a studio glaze from the college called the Best Blue, which is arguable. It's really the best blue. And then this clay was B-Mix. And then for this one, this is the Laguna Frost, so we threw some porcelain this semester, so I just had a bowl. It's got Mino white on most of it. It did a little crawling here on the edge, which is not great. And then on the inside, when everybody was opening up their glazes, I was stealing all of their little chunks that were coming off the rims, and I threw them all into the bottom on top of the Mino white, and it made a pretty cool effect. And continuing our experiments with porcelain, let me just jump around a little bit here. I also made a bonsai planter. It did crack a little bit on the bottom, which is typical. I would say, porcelain behavior. And this one is Amico Honey Flux over Mako Cenote, and I love how that came out. I was getting a little dangerous mixing brands, but it really is beautiful. I don't care if it's cracked, I'm going to keep that one and just use it till the bottom falls out, so whatever. So we also, the main reason we even did porcelain this semester is because we were doing a class experiment with crystalline glazes. So our professor made up some crystalline glazes and worked out a firing schedule, and we all made some pieces to fire with that glaze. My first and probably the best piece was this bowl. So this is all on Laguna Frost. It's got a lot of great crystals pooled in the bottom. It's not food safe. It's got like clearly dangerous texture happening in there. I put some matte black on the outside. It's cool. I guess it's cool to see the crystals. This is a cobalt crystalline. Not being completely in charge of that process is like, it's cool to see, but also I would rather be in charge of the process. I think like the glaze would be more meaningful to me if I was the one like firing it. So, but that's just me. And then this was another one, and it ran all the way down the bottom. I knew it was gonna run, so that wasn't like a surprise. I'm not like, oh, I just still have to grind that. But this one didn't really make any crystals. This was a crystal with the with copper in it, and then I put some obsidian on the bottom. I didn't layer them over each other, just next to each other, and the crystalline ran over the obsidian like I thought it would, but it didn't really do anything interesting. And then, so moving on, I had some pieces left with that dragon fruit that I finished up at school because my friend had those cool glazes. Let me see what we got here. I still have my notes. Make sure you take glaze notes. It helps a lot whenever you have to remember what you did. So this one is Enchanted Forest by Mako. Really nice. I figured that most of these would come out pretty great on this clay body. It handles glaze really well. This is that Dragon Fruit by Industrial Minerals Company. And then on this one, this is also Shipwreck. So also very nice. I like this clay body. Big fan. Will order again. And this last one is, okay, so this one is Obsidian on the spot. This is the raw dragon fruit clay. And then on the outside around the rim, it's the Cenote by Mako. And then on the inside, it is Amico Glacier. And the Glacier on this clay body did run and craze on the inside, so not the best, but the Cenote looks great, and it's just some really nice dripping. Alright, and then so my next thing I was working on this semester was making some lidded jars, trying that out for the first time. So I made 2 lidded jars. My jars are like the kind where they're kind of beveled so they just fall into each other. They both fit pretty well. This one had a little bit more running than I was expecting, so I need to sand that one down and grind it down a little bit to make it fit a little bit better. The glazes that I used on these were, let's see, this was Muddy Waters on the outside, and then the inside is a Timoko. And that definitely looks muddy. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't really love it. But I think this is going to be my jar to keep my matcha in, if I can figure out a way to kind of make this seal just a little bit better. It's a project for another time. And this other one is a mystery because somebody didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure that it's just honey flux on the whole thing, and then on the very top it's just like an indigo blue. And then the next thing I was doing was throwing large bowls. I have a friend who wanted a large bowl because she makes sourdough bread, and I really wanted to try to make her a bowl and see if that was possible. And then things got out of control. So I started with a 5-pound bowl. This is all B-mix. So this one is the Winterwood on the outside, Mako Winterwood, and on the inside it is Spectrum Hot Chowder, running hot chowder, which is a really, really pretty glaze. Honestly, super impressed. Love this one. And then I threw a 10-pound bowl, and the 10-pound bowl here is Mako Olive Float on the outside and Nino White on the inside. And this is the one I think I'm gonna give my friend. It came out really exceptional, and I think it's big enough for what she needs it for. And then when I say things got out of control, they did. So I was like, how much clay can we throw on the wheel? So we threw 20 pounds. Me and my professor centered it, and we threw this 20-pound bowl, which I turned into a planter, on the wheel. It is very heavy and very large, and I don't know if it's gonna fit in my kiln. So hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I've got a friend that I might ask to fire it. I made a quick short video firing this, of throwing this, and then there's like the full-length video with all of my instructor and me talking and laughing and everything, all that. That's all on my Patreon, which you can support my channel and find extra content and get early access to all of this content at patreon.com/bluenosetrading. That is everything that we made this semester. It was mostly the Finch's project. That was a big project. And then the crystalline and experimenting with some bowls and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys would like to stick around and see a weekly art video, you can subscribe to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. And again, if you want early access and to help support the channel, go to patreon.com/bluenosetrading. Remember that you are important and you have great ideas and to drink lots and lots of water, and I will see you guys next week.